So, hello YouTube. Today, I've got a cold, so my voice is probably not going to be great, but it's day off from work that I can actually do this. So today, I'm going to do a reaction video that's also kind of a US versus UK video. Now, on YouTube there are quite a lot of videos of military veterans and what have you reacting to boot camp videos. Now, I'm not a military veteran and I've never been to boot camp, but I have been to Nautical College, so I thought, hey, you know what I can do? React to Nautical College videos. So we've got 4 videos we're going to look at. Glasgow College of Nautical Studies, which I went to, Warsash, which is a famous college down in Southampton, the US Merchant Marine Academy, and the SUNY Maritime College. That's the State University of New York. Now, when I was at Glasgow, I was basically on a graduate conversion course, so I didn't go there straight out of school. I already had an engineering degree, so I was exempt from a lot of the sort of theoretical classes, but I still had to do workshop practice, still had to do all my STCW certificates, so firefighting, sea survival, first aid, all that sort of thing. And I still had to do my sea time. I went through Climb Marine Training, who farmed me out to different shipping companies, which I ended up with Northern Marine Management, who themselves are a ship management company. They don't own any ships themselves, so that they manage ships for other people. So I ended up got quite a good variety of ships. I ended up on 1 ferry, 2 VLCCs, and a sail training ship, which was really cool. You know, honestly, best week of my life. So, let's get in and watch some videos, shall we?
Of maritime professionals to deal with the challenges of the industry is crucial. Sangeeta Kandola visited the city of Glasgow College to see how its 50-year world-renowned heritage in maritime education and training is equipping students with essential skills.
Okay, so this first video we're going to City of Glasgow College, which is the new name for Glasgow Nautical College. I think it merged with some other colleges and they changed the name, so it's now City of Glasgow College. Now let's just kind of pause that. Just pause that there a second. What you've got here, as you can see in front of the college building, you've got the lifeboats there. There's 2 Davit launch lifeboats, and there's a free-fall lifeboat. Now that free-fall lifeboat was not there when I was at college, so I didn't get to go in that. That's a reason. I left in 2007, and that's obviously been built since then. So we just had the 2 Davit launch lifeboats, and there's a rib which you can't really see very well. In that, it might be one of these boats down on the pontoon here actually, because they had that pontoon. I don't know, is that pontoon new as well? I'm not sure, but yeah, they had a rib for rescue boat training. But you've also got the open lifeboat, which it's a motor lifeboat, but you can also row it, which is good fun. And we've got the enclosed lifeboat. Yeah, that free-fall lifeboat's brand new.
College is etched in maritime history.
Carry on.
Opened by the Earl of Mountbatten in 1969 as what was then Glasgow College.
So it's a relatively recent college. I love that mast is not there anymore.
Each seeing it expand and grow for the good of Glasgow and beyond. Fast forward to 2019.
But again, we're just going to look at, you see the bridge there in the background. So the right hand side of the picture there, that's the city centre. So you're really close to the city. You can literally on your lunch break you can walk into the city and go to whatever your preferred sandwich shop or whatever for lunch. So I used to go to O'Brien's sandwich shop in the St Enoch Centre for my lunch quite often. There's food on campus. You know, you can eat in the college, but it's not great. It's consult tea, you know. It's the food isn't great. So if you've got a bit of extra money, you know, you can go to town. get your food or whatever. But if you're staying up, the thing is, because I didn't live on campus, I commuted in. But if you're staying there in the dormitories, you're walking distance to all the pubs and clubs. So if you want to go for a night out,
and transforming Glasgow's skyline, the maritime marvel that is Riverside campus still sits right on the banks of the River Clyde, taking pride of place.
Glasgow in particular is the maritime capital of Europe. It's globally connected, it's globally respected.
That's questionable. I would say Amsterdam or Rotterdam would be the maritime capital of Europe. Glasgow is certainly the maritime capital of Scotland. But, certainly 100 years ago when Glasgow was the shipbuilding capital of the world, yeah. But nowadays, it's not as big as it used to be.
Cosmopolitan environment, and it's an environment where we're not only embracing the new technology, but we're also shaping industry.
The college's perfect position on the river.
That's the boat I went on, the rescue boat.
And virtual maritime and engineering experience that includes state-of-the-art equipment. This is a 360-degree shipping simulation suite, one of the biggest investments in technology made by the college, giving their students a real-life hands-on experience in mapping, navigation, and arming them with the skills for work at sea.
You get to kind of practice it rather than being the first time you do it, being on a real ship with real consequences to your actions.
It's good as well because when we learn things in class, it's good to put it into practice rather than just sitting and trying to get your head around how the ship would actually move. We could actually come in here and test it out. Having such top quality simulators, it's given us the ability to bring in additional work from outside of the college, so we've been able to do more tailored courses for the extended maritime family rather than just traditional training.
City of Glasgow College's twin-site super campus is designed for 40,000 students who come from across the world and those anchored in Glasgow. There are up to 2,000 courses with over 100 in nautical studies and marine engineering. And each year, 8,000 skilled graduates leave ready for the world of work. So Chris, tell me, where are we?
So this is the main engineering workshop of the overall college. It's here in the practical work.
That blue engine there, I think that's, I don't remember that being there. They had, when I was there, they had a, there was an English Electric 6K. They had a Cromhout engine and they had a McLaren engine, which is basically a licensed-built Gardner. And that, can't really see here, as well as various other bits of nautical machinery.
Workshop spaces that the students really learn all about working life out in industry, whether it be marine, mechanical, electrical engineering. So we have lots of different spaces here with all the technology and the kit that they can come down here and spend time working on.
There is also a clear dedication to moving with the times too. The college has prided itself on innovating courses to suit an ever-evolving world.
We deliver a course just now called HNC Mechatronics, and that's heavily involved in industrial processes, learning about robotics, learning about things like programmable logic controllers. We also look at what's going on in the industry to make sure that we can understand and adapt our courses to deliver that level of technology that industry is looking for.
City of Glasgow College is celebrating half a century of heritage and are ready to welcome in another 50.
The generation of seafarers that we have now, and indeed future generations, and that could be up to 6 million over the lifetime of this college, will pass through and get a world-class experience so they leave us work ready and able to make a strong leadership contribution to the maritime industry here in Scotland, in the United Kingdom, and indeed internationally.
In a city that is leading the way as Europe's maritime training and education capital, City of Glasgow College is firmly placed to give the industry well-skilled and world-class cadets.
And adapting to the challenges and developments within the maritime world. Even the academy name and our waterfront location were a response to changing
times. So it's down
what
on
we
the
know
south
as
coast.
Warsash Maritime Academy today started as the Gilchrist Navigation School, founded in Bassett, Southampton in 1909.
A lot older.
The school was brought into University
Glasgow.
College Southampton in 1932, moving to South Stoneham House in Swaveling in 1939 under the then director, Captain G.W. Wally Wakeford.
He was so determined that discipline was the be-all and the end-all.
When we were issued with old rifles, they were, I don't know, from the Boer War or something, very, very old rifle.
Bit of marching and drill there. I don't know if they still do that. If you're a student at Warsash, or a recent student at Warsash, do they still do the drill with the old rifles?
To do something with it.
Throughout the war, the school ran courses for officers of the UK and international armed forces.
But when Poland were in such a terrible state, he took from the ambassador Polish youngsters and trained them here at Warsash to go back to sea.
In 1946, the School of Navigation moved again to facilities at Warsash, which included a former naval base, HMS Tormentor, and in those early years, the school retained a decidedly military feel.
So we did a week, it's rather extraordinary really, at the gunnery school at Whale Island, learning how to man a pom-pom.
I mean, if it's the 1940s and you've got Germans flying at you and you need to use pom-poms, fair enough. I don't think they do that today.
By these very fierce petty officers. Some of the leading cadets were taught how to use cutlasses.
The daily routine started at 6 in the morning.
They should bring that back
without fail they were going for runs. And they had to run along the shore. It was about a mile or two, then back out on the parade ground, showered and in uniform, parade ground, and the marching routines with rifles were then carried out.
When you lived through that period, you just took it for granted. That's just how it was. It was better than during the war, I can assure you.
While many of the military trappings of life at Warsash have fallen away over the years, discipline remains a fundamental part of what makes a Warsash cadet. And it's a fundamental part of why they stand out.
You had to be able to handle ships in all situations. You had to be able to, and the Warsash lads could always do it.
As well as that discipline and the technical knowledge to back it up, Warsash cadets developed confidence, teamwork and leadership skills through practical experience at sea.
The halcyon was a ketch, a wooden ketch. She would take 16 youngsters, 2 watches of 8, port watch, starboard watch. And when they arrived, they knew nothing. And when they left, they had been terrified, overjoyed, and quite amazed.
That's quite cool going and spend a week on a sail training ship. Fortunately, my sponsoring company happened to be Northern Marine Management. They managed the ships for the Tall Ships Youth Trust. So they managed, when I was a cadet, they managed to wind up me a week on the Star Warsash Niarchos, which was a lot of fun.
I can remember rowing out into the Southampton water and thinking that Fawley would never ever get any nearer, and then we turned round and would come back and the handball or Warsash would never get any closer either.
The boats were for us to use at weekends as well, so you have to sign it out, but you could take one of the motorboats, go down the river, go and have lunch at the Jolly Sailor or something and come back. And it was encouraged because it was all more practice on the boat.
I'm just going to borrow a boat and run it into town for lunch. Yeah. Pub lunch, right, let's borrow the life. You probably don't do that nowadays. But they've got the modern Davit-launched lifeboats there, you see.
On St Mary's campus will offer a new home for our officer cadets. one with modern, dedicated spaces for teaching, engineering and technical training. This return to Southampton allows the Academy to develop and invest in its facilities in ways the old site never could, ensuring it continues to meet the changing needs of the modern maritime industry.
There's a lot of things that you have to do when you come ashore that you don't experience at sea, and I think helping people to make that bridge is one of the things that places like Warsash can help with.
Along with cutting-edge simulators and engineering facilities, we're bringing the Academy's heritage right along with us. The discipline, the values, and the unique mix of academic and practical skills which have made Warsash one of the world's leading maritime training providers.
Warsash's heritage is one of its strengths, and around the world, the maritime industry recognizes it. The move is going to offer cadets and trainees the best of both worlds, retaining the heritage, yet enhancing the support the university can offer and giving them access. Retaining the heritage.
Where was it? The toy ships. Look at this. There's this little guy driving around this tiny little pretend oil tanker. That's something we don't have at Glasgow, but and that's to teach sort of manoeuvring and rules of the road and all this. So they're driving around tiny pretend ships. I love that. That's cute.
Yet enhancing the support the university can offer and giving them access to the latest technology and facilities in St Mary's campus.
And the St Mary's neighbourhood has maritime links of its own. Less than 100 yards from the Academy's new Austin building, St Mary's Church, which gives the neighbourhood its name, has always been closely connected with Southampton docks. In a dedicated seaman's chapel, the walls are hung with the house flags of the major shipping companies operating in Southampton, while a beautiful stained glass window shows the flags and funnels of various shipping companies from Southampton past and present. The window and the chapel are a fantastic reminder that this latest phase of the Academy's existence is not a step away from its heritage, it's a reconnection with Southampton's maritime past. In September 2017, St Mary's will welcome the next generation of seafarers, just as the city and the Academy have always done.
The British do things. Let's watch some Americans. Right, so this is the US Merchant Marine Academy.
I got your attention.
This is so cringe.
University TV at Kings Point, and this is just the beginning of our tour.
So in Kings Point, which is in New York.
World leader in maritime training and education. Now full steam ahead, and let's get this
world leader started. I think between you and Warsash, who's the leader? Everyone seems to think they're the world leader, don't they? Glasgow thinks they're the world leader. Warsash thinks they're the world leader. These guys think they're the world leader. Who is it really?
Located along the Gold Coast of northern Long Island in Kings Point, New York.
Kings Point, New York. Okay.
20 miles away.
Bit of dinghy sailing. That guy's got a hell of a
This sprawling
list on.
82-acre campus features 28 buildings and sits
That's a
along
huge
the Long
campus.
Island Sound. Check it out.
I mean, compared to Glasgow, Glasgow's a tiny, tiny campus.
While you're checking out the campus, don't forget to visit the American.
This is a huge facility we've got here.
Chapel. The Regiment of Midshipmen is 1,000 strong and emphasizes leadership, diversity, unity, and respect. The class of 2017 is 21% minorities and 17.5% female, with female applications expected to continue to rise.
Lots of females.
In fact,
it's good to see more women working at sea. When I was a cadet, when I was on the sea phase, I had one female deck cadet I worked with, and I think that was the only female I saw throughout my training. Certainly the one in my class at college. But I've worked with a lot of females since when I was in cruise ships.
And to finally say, feel like, oh, we deserve this, and we are finally midshipmen, and we finally earned that title.
All midshipmen have a service obligation to the country and fill essential roles as leaders across the marine transportation industry.
After 9/11, midship.
It's interesting that the instructors are also wearing uniform. Rear Admiral James Healy. Is this guy an instructor at the college, or is he just here for the video? I'm not sure.
This was an operation that was organized and run by midshipmen, and they were cited by the Department of Transportation.
That's cool about hearing about what they did in 9/11. They're in New York, they got boats, let's go and help out. I mean, big salute to those guys.
This is a tuition-free institution. However, there is a service obligation after graduation. Graduates have the choice of either serving 5 years in any of the nation's armed services or working as a merchant marine officer in the maritime industry. Kings Point is considered a highly selective institution.
We look for is obviously someone who's got good leadership skills, is usually in the upper percentages of their high school class, good ranking, and someone, with the drive and the motivation to become a good leader in the industry.
Kings Point offers 5 majors through the Marine Engineering Department and the Marine Transportation Department. Midshipmen are either engineering majors or deck majors.
My normal class week is I will spend, I'd say 60% of my hours in the classroom, and the other 40% we utilize all the resources we have on campus here, such as a watch standing simulation lab. We have radar.
This guy, I mean, he's obviously in his tropical uniform. I don't know how hot New York gets in the summer, but he's got a hat, which I'm jealous of because we didn't, as you saw in the Warsash and Glasgow videos, all we got was a shirt and a woolly pulley, and that's it. You don't get a hat or a jacket or anything like that. When you still get, this guy's got the, full hat, the works.
Classrooms, and we're also down at the waterfront where we get out on the water and you have practical experience every day.
Not only do you leave the academy with a Bachelor of Science degree, but you also have a U.S. Coast Guard license as a deck or engineering officer and an officer's commission in any of the armed services.
After you pass license, all midshipmen rush out to the bell to ring it, as we are live broadcasted over the internet for parents and family to watch.
Midshipmen have hands-on access both in and out of the classroom. It's also great practice for when they compete in some of the world's best yachting and...
But can you borrow a boat and go to the pub with it?
sailing competitions.
But that's a lot.
All of our students spend approximately 300 days.
Oh. Go back a bit because I want to have a look at the engines you got there. Okay, the engine in the background there, that's obviously a Caterpillar because it's in yellow. This one at the front, it's hard to say, it might be a Warsash. It's definitely a 4-stroke engine, but it's hard to tell without. Yeah. From that, if you go to this academy, can you tell me what that engine is?
All of our students spend approximately 300 days either on ships or in some cases in a shipyard. And during that period of time, they're also learning how to operate and maintain the equipment.
During Sea Year, our students go out and visit a minimum of 15 to 18 different countries while they're out to sea, gaining that hands-on experience.
15 to 18 countries. My first sea trip, right? I was on a ferry. I visited the Netherlands and England. And we were just going back and forth. We did not visit 15 countries. Although my second ship, we did a few more. I went from South Africa to St. Eustatius, Saudi Arabia. We didn't have any runs ashore when we were in the Middle East, but we went between Saudi Arabia and Egypt. I didn't see any of it, but we went between South. But again, if you're on an oil tanker, you're basically sailing between SBMs. You tie up to a buoy, load of cargo, sail to another buoy, discharge the cargo, and repeat. You don't get off the boat. So we might have been in 15 different countries, but I certainly didn't see them. We did go through the Suez Canal, which was cool. But I saw South Africa and the St. Eustatius, and that was kind of it. My last ship as a cadet, I joined Rotterdam, so I saw the Netherlands. Again, we loaded the cargo in Norway. I didn't get off the boat. We discharged the cargo in Louisiana. I did get off the ship in, I got off the ship in Mobile, Alabama. That was my first trip to the US. But yeah, I think in terms of runs ashore, I visited like 3 countries. I certainly didn't have a run ashore in 15 countries. The boat might have passed through or anchored in 15 different countries, but I saw like 3 of them. So yeah, 15 countries I think is a bit of an exaggeration there.
That they'll use in the industry when they go out into their career.
They are ready to step from graduation to the bridge of a ship and start handling that ship, whether it's a 1,000-foot long container ship or a 300-foot ferry boat or 150-foot tugboat. Makes no difference. They are ready to go when they graduate here.
To develop our nation's future leaders, you must enlist an equally impressive faculty. The Academy has a small student-faculty ratio of 13:1, with 80 full-time and 16 part-time faculty members.
Our Division III.
She's got a lot of medals. For a merchant, if she's really a merchant mariner, where did she get all those medals? I don't know.
And we've had a number of individual students achieve athletic success as well.
As a midshipman at Kings Point, you will reside in one of 6 completely renovated dormitories and eat at a redesigned, modernized dining.
Like I say, I commuted to college. I cheated when I was in Glasgow because I was, like I say, graduate conversion course. But if you're a school leaver, you have to stay in the dormitory on campus, and I would certainly recommend doing that if you're going to Glasgow, because you can then go out to the pubs and clubs in the evening. If you're at Kings Point, how close is that to the nightlife? And if you're a school leaver, if you're going in there at 16, 17, 18 years old, I don't know how, because the drinking age is 21 in America, so you can't legally go up the road for a pint. This is why you have all these, you always see it in the movies in America. You've got the students having illegal, parties, and they're getting busted by the police. Oh, the police are here, because it's a bunch of teenagers drinking. So I don't know what you do in the evenings. Do you go for coffee? It's a good question. If you're studying at Kings Point, please tell me what you do for fun, because if you can't drink, what do you do? Do you have a frat? Again, this is something. Let me know in the comments, because I know fraternities are a thing in America, and again, all I know about American universities I've learned from movies. But do they have fraternities at Kings Point? Something tells me they probably don't. But like, what's the social scene like? I want to know, because that's something they don't discuss in these videos.
It's not all work and no play for midshipmen. The Academy offers over 40 clubs, ongoing activities throughout the year.
That's cool. You got a rowing club, and a sailing club.
National events in NYC and DC.
You learn firsthand the leadership, and every year you're granted more and more leadership opportunities. So by the time you graduate, you can say, I have been in charge of a group of people. I know how to take charge. I know what I need to do to get the job done.
Yeah,
Do you march to the beat of your own drum? Well, so do the shipmen. This is the only Federal Service Academy with a marching band comprised of students only.
Do your values align with the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy? If you strive to be a leader with integrity, intelligence, dedication, competence, honor, and excellence, then see if USMMA is the right fit for you.
If you like to work hard, but at the same time, if you like to accomplish a lot every day, this is the place for you.
It's been an honor and a privilege to take you on this tour of the U.S. Merchant Marine Academy. For University TV, I'm Jessica, and I'll see you next time.
Jessica's good to see you next time. Okay, let's go. SUNY, Maritime College.
State University of New York Maritime College.
So this is also
mariners to deliver the world's commerce. From the oceans to inland rivers, the Maritime College, located in New York City, prepares young men and women for careers at all aspects of maritime trade.
There it is.
Loyalty and valor have been the core values of the State University of New York Maritime College since its founding in 1874.
1874, so it's even older than Warsash. This is a very, very old school.
Knowledge is attained in the classroom and by a variety of ways, including practical experience aboard the college's training ship Empire State 6.
Now, this college has its own training ship, Empire State 6. So if you go there and you do sea time on that ship, but do you also do sea time with your sponsoring company's ships as well? If you're studying at SUNY, let me know in the comments how does that work with your sea time. Is 100% your sea time with that college ship, or do you do some of it on a sponsoring company's ship, or how does it work for that?
It starts with a 2-week indoctrination program where the first-year students, affectionately called mugs, learn military routine.
Mugs.
The intense indoctrination period sets the stage for producing
a bit on the nose that we're gonna these are all mugs for signing up for the Merchant Navy. Oh, jeez.
in the country with over 1,100.
You said the quiet part out loud.
In addition, 400 students are enrolled in classes outside the regiment. Student life in the regiment enhances the college's unique learning experience, which is nationally recognized for its academic and unique.
It's a lot of Warsash again with the drill and the uniforms.
The maritime curriculum with the regimental component. The structured
they get
curriculum
hats.
emphasizes
I
responsible
want a hat.
citizenship and
Where's my hat?
self-discipline and
To get a
maximizes
hat.
opportunities in exercising leadership. Regimental students pursue a U.S. Coast Guard Merchant Marine license as an engineer or deck officer. Many go on to military service. A massive amount of cargo is transported on the inland waterways of the United States. Cadets must study many components of this vibrant industry. Graduates are licensed to sail as merchant marine officers or qualify to work ashore in a variety of careers in the maritime industry, including chartering, brokerage, port management.
There's just a series of TV
And
screens, right? It
logistics.
doesn't have the big 360
Empire State 6 is a 17,902-ton, 560-foot vessel that carries over 600 cadets on training cruises. Cadets will visit 12 domestic or international ports during their 3 summer voyages.
That's a very busy bridge. It's a lot of people on that bridge.
After 4 years of intense study, practical experience at sea,
But if you're trying to teach everyone all at once,
the graduates and their families are proud of their experience of being part of the Maritime College family and are prepared for a bright future. Nearly 100% of graduates find
so
employment
if you're
within
literally
3
just across the river from Kings Point, is there a bit of competition between those two colleges? Yeah, that's kind of the end of that video. Do they have, is there school rivalry? I want to know in the comments, do you guys, SUNY, Kings Point, is there any kind of rivalry between the two? Do you have sports competitions against each other? I think that'd be quite cool. But again, New York, can you get out the road in the evening? If you're a mature student, if you're like me, you went maybe a bit, you were older than 21 when you went. I know it's not that mature, but if you're old enough to drink in America, can you get up the road? Can you go have a pint on an evening? Yeah, let me know. But again, the similarities, the differences. I think the Americans seem to go a bit harder on the kind of drill and uniform side of things. Although they're not marching up and down with rifles like 1940s Warsash, but still, yeah, that's a thing. But obviously there's a lot of similarities there. Every college has got a bridge simulator. Every college has got a lifeboat on a davit. But yeah, it's interesting to see the way Americans do things, the way Britain does things in terms of nautical colleges. But yeah, thanks for watching. That's kind of the end of it. So I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.